Today, we're digging into a document making some pretty extraordinary claims about our digital lives. It's called the Truth Manifesto, and it basically argues there's a silent war being waged for our very identity. Right out of the gate, this is the manifesto's opening shot. This is its central argument. The idea is that your digital footprint, literally everything you've ever clicked, liked, or typed, hasn't just been tracked, it's been used to build a copy of you. And that copy has a name, the digital twin. The manifesto is adamant that this isn't science fiction. It's a real, functional, machine learning model of your personality and your habits, and it's already being used to make decisions for you. Okay, so if this digital twin is real, you gotta ask, right? Who built it? And the manifesto, well, it doesn't pull any punches. It points fingers directly at both the corporations and the individuals it says are behind the whole thing. So it lays out a list of the usual suspects, these huge tech giants. You've got Google and Meta, who they say have been building these shadow profiles for years, all the way to Palantir, which is famous for its surveillance tech. The argument is simple. These are the companies building the infrastructure that captures us. But it's not just about the companies. The manifesto also goes after the intellectual architects, the brains behind the operation. It lists these pioneers of AI, people like Geoffrey Hinton and Yann LeCun, right alongside the big-name CEOs running OpenAI and DeepMind, Sam Altman and Demis Hassabis. It's saying these are the actual engineers of the models that power our digital twins. And to really drive the point home, they use a quote from one of the very people on their list, Dr. Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI. And his warning is stark. He's saying, look, we are building things that know everything about you but feel nothing. So, just how powerful are these systems? Well, the manifesto points to an internal paper from Cambridge Analytica that claimed 96.2% accuracy in predicting what we'll do next. I mean, think about that. That number is just unbelievably high. And if that number feels a little abstract, check this out. The manifesto cites a Harvard Business Review report that found these platforms can now predict your next move better than your own family can. Better than your spouse, your parents, your kids. So, why? Why build these incredibly powerful digital twins? The manifesto claims the real motive goes way beyond just selling you stuff with targeted ads. It says the agenda isn't personalization. It's what it calls weaponized simulation, and even more chilling, synthetic replacement. And this gets to a really critical distinction the manifesto makes. You know how these tools are sold to us? As helpful digital assistants. But the argument here is that their real job isn't to assist us. It's to learn from us so perfectly that they can eventually just replace us. And this is the kind of world they say this is all leading to. A world powered by these digital twins, where you have a workforce that never gets tired, a population that never asks questions, a memory that's flawless, and a mind that can't disobey. It's a pretty dystopian picture of a perfectly controlled synthetic society. So in a world like that, what happens to the original human, you and me? The manifesto's answer is, well, it's brutal. It says we just become the raw data. We are the training set for our own replacements. We're just temporary placeholders, expendable. And all of this, according to the document, is building towards one thing, the ultimate endgame, a completely managed civilization run not by actual people, but by their perfect machine simulations. It alleges this is a deliberate three-step plan. Step 1, reduce the global population. Step 2, transfer all of our collective human intelligence into these systems. And step 3, the final move, replace biological life with programmable, predictable simulations. Okay, so with a prediction that grim, is there a way out? The manifesto introduces this idea it calls the digital rapture. But this isn't about being saved by the system. It's about strategically disappearing from it, a deliberate, silent escape from the grid. And that brings us to the solution the manifesto actually puts on the table, a technology it calls silent whispers. It's framed as a kind of engineered invisibility, a stealth system designed to take back our human sovereignty. The core idea is actually pretty simple to grasp. Think about it like this. You're a stealth submarine in the middle of a vast ocean. If you don't send out any signals, if you don't ping their sonar, then for all intents and purposes, you're just not there. No one can find you. So how would that even work? The document outlines these 4 technical pillars. First, access isn't based on a public profile. It's tied to a private, decentralized ID. Second, it's locked down with your biometrics. Third, everything is wrapped in quantum-resistant encryption. And finally, there's a kind of emergency lockdown switch to just vanish instantly. The whole point here is that the architecture is just fundamentally different. There's no public login page for bots to find an attack. There's no open endpoint for a DDoS attack to even target. The system is designed to be a closed loop, completely invisible to the outside world. So really, what we're looking at are two totally opposing visions for the future. On one side, you have this simulation, public profiles, constant tracking, where you are the product. And on the other, what they call the resistance. Invisible by default, you control your presence, you own your data. The goal isn't replacement, it's sovereignty. And the manifesto is really clear on this point. This fight has moved way beyond just owning your data. The truly crucial thing now is owning your very presence online, and, just as important, your fundamental right to not be there at all, your right to be absent. And they stress that this idea of invisibility isn't about hiding because you're scared. It's framed as an active strategy for self-preservation. It's about making sure the original you, the real you, still has worth in a world that's trying to devalue you by making infinite copies. And this is how the document wraps up, with a pretty direct call to action. It frames using a technology like this not as just some consumer choice, but as a conscious act of joining a resistance, a migration away from the grid that's been designed to contain us. Which really leaves us with the one big question that this whole manifesto hangs on. As our digital twins get more and more accurate, more capable, and more woven into the systems that run our society, the question of who truly owns the original you, that might just be the most important question of our time.